On the evening of March 8, 2020, a 16-year-old high school student named Brittany vanished from a quiet community in northeastern Nevada. She walked out of a youth center after band rehearsal and never returned home. Within hours, her family's phones were ringing nonstop. Fear replaced routine. Volunteers began searching. What had seemed like an ordinary Sunday was about to become one of the most disturbing criminal cases the county had ever faced. Every digital trace Brittany left behind, every message, every movement reflected on Snap Map would later be examined in painstaking detail. What began as a missing person report quickly escalated into a homicide investigation that shook Elko County to its core. And the most unsettling part was not just where she was found, but who had been with her before she disappeared. Brittany was born on June 4, 2003, in Colorado. Though her birth certificate listed a different first name, she chose to go by Brittany from a young age, a decision her family respected as part of her independence. In 2010, her family relocated to Spring Creek, Nevada, after her father accepted a job in the gold mining industry. Her mother focused on raising Brittany and her younger brother and maintaining stability at home. Even after her parents divorced, they remained cooperative and committed to their children's well-being. Brittany grew up surrounded by wide-open land, horses, and ranch life. By the age of 9, she was already riding confidently across open pasture. Trainers and neighbors often commented on her natural skill and self-assurance. She competed in youth rodeo events and even earned the honorary title of Rodeo Queen, a symbol of promise in a community where Western traditions still shaped daily life. But Brittany's dreams stretched beyond the desert horizon. She spoke about possibly joining the Navy to work in psychological support services. At other times, she considered becoming a special effects makeup artist. Her ambitions reflected a teenager who saw more than one future for herself. Adolescence, however, brought challenges. According to her family, she faced repeated bullying at school. Over time, her mood changed. She became withdrawn and struggled with motivation. With approval from the school district, her parents transitioned her to homeschooling. She also began working at a local ranch, caring for animals and maintaining property. Her employer described her as dependable and self-directed. Her father was her closest confidant. They shared music rehearsals and long conversations about her plans. On March 8, 2020, they attended a rehearsal together at the Spring Creek Community Center. Around 3:30 p.m., Brittany told him that a friend was coming to pick her up and that she would be back soon. She walked outside, got into a blue pickup truck, and drove away. It was the last time her family saw her alive. The driver was Bryce Edward Dickey, a young man from the same county who had known Brittany for years. He was slightly older and well-known in local rodeo circles. He had spent time at her family's home and was someone her parents believed they could trust. Later, Bryce told investigators that he had dropped Brittany near a school parking lot where she was supposedly meeting someone else, a man in a green vehicle he could not clearly describe. It was Sunday. The school was closed. There were no witnesses. No cameras. No sign of this mysterious third person. As evening approached and Brittany failed to return home, her family grew alarmed. Her phone went straight to voicemail. That was unlike her. Friends began posting her photo online. By the following morning, March 9th, an official missing person report was filed with the Elko County Sheriff's Office. Search teams formed quickly. Volunteers combed through desert land, back roads, and dry creek beds. Flyers appeared in grocery stores and gas stations. Social media posts spread across the region. Yet no credible leads emerged. Then came a disturbing twist. Brittany's family received anonymous text messages demanding $25,000 in exchange for her safe return. Investigators traced the messages to a prepaid phone registered under false information and determined it was likely an extortion attempt unrelated to her disappearance. Nearly 48 hours passed with no answers. On March 11, 2020, drivers traveling along a remote dirt road in the Barnard Basin area noticed dark stains in the sand and a blue construction tarp partially weighed down by rocks. Deputies responded. Beneath the tarp, they found the body of a young woman. It was Brittany. The scene showed clear signs of violence. She had suffered manual strangulation and a deep puncture wound to her neck that severed a major artery. The medical examiner determined her death resulted from a combination of asphyxia and massive blood loss. Evidence indicated a violent struggle had taken place. Nearby, investigators recovered torn fabric, earbuds caught in brush, and a damaged cell phone discarded some distance away. A used condom and wrapper were collected for DNA testing. Forensic teams managed to extract partial data from her shattered phone. That digital evidence would prove critical. Attention returned to Bryce. Snapchat location data revealed that at the exact time Brittany's phone stopped transmitting, both her device and Bryce's phone were pinging from the same remote desert location, the very area where her body was later discovered. This directly contradicted his earlier statement that he had never left town. Investigators also found a selfie on Bryce's phone taken in that same desert location on the day she disappeared. Metadata confirmed the time and coordinates. Then came the DNA results. Genetic material recovered from the scene matched Bryce. Scratches on his body, photographed shortly after Brittany's disappearance, were consistent with fingernail marks. Forensic testing revealed biological traces under his skin that matched Brittany's DNA. Deleted Snapchat messages were restored with assistance from the platform. They showed Bryce had pressured Brittany to meet him that day, even after she expressed hesitation. Confronted with mounting evidence, Bryce's story began to shift. He could not explain why he had been in the desert. He could not explain the DNA. Investigators no longer viewed him as a witness. He became the primary suspect. In March 2022, nearly 2 years after Brittany's death, the trial began. Prosecutors presented DNA evidence, digital forensics, and expert testimony reconstructing the timeline. The defense argued that the encounter had been consensual and attempted to cast doubt on the digital evidence. But forensic experts confirmed the data's integrity and proper chain of custody. After deliberating for less than 24 hours, the jury returned its verdict. Guilty on all counts, Bryce Dickey was convicted of first-degree murder and assault and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 46 years. The courtroom fell silent as the sentence was read. Brittany's parents sat together, absorbing a verdict that brought accountability but not relief. Her mother later said that no sentence could restore what was lost, but she hoped the case would serve as a reminder. Trust should never be given blindly. Even in small communities where everyone seems familiar, the case left deep scars in Spring Creek. Many who had once known Bryce described him as polite and respectful. The crime shattered that image and forced the community to confront a painful truth that appearances can conceal something far darker beneath the surface. What began as a quiet Sunday afternoon ended as one of the most devastating tragedies in local memory, a story pieced together through digital footprints, forensic science, and a relentless search for the